The Story of Me is brought to you by Liuna, Ontario Provincial District Council. Liuna, feel the power. Greetings, everyone. Like the patron saint of his country of origin, our guest has faced the challenges of life with grit and determination, virtues that he has shared with others. And in doing so, he has helped to bring recognition and dignity to the labor force in this country. We welcome Patrick Sheridan.
Thank you
Hello,
very
sir.
much. Thank you very much.
I thank you for being here.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
In a rainy day, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You come from the Republic of Ireland, RD. I never heard of it. Is it a big town?
RD is a small town, population of about 4,500 to 5,000 people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I grew up there. I wasn't born in RD. I was born in another little town called Carrickmacross, which is in another county of Ireland, in County Monaghan.
And then you moved.
Then work-wise, we moved to RD.
Yeah.
My dad got a house there, and we lived there
For a while.
for a long time.
Your father was a laborer.
Yes, he was.
He worked 2 jobs
He did.
to provide for your mom and 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
That's
Big
correct.
family. Now, this was quite a chore because your mom was home raising these 7 children.
Correct. Yes, she was. Yeah.
So your father had a bit of a rough time.
Well, he did. Yeah. He was quite a strong man, a good worker. Provided for every one of us. I was the oldest of 7,
Yeah.
so I was there
Yeah.
firsthand watching him. There was times when he was tired when he come home, but he always went to that second job.
I imagine.
Yeah.
He was laid off at some point, and with not much of a chance to find stable employment in RD, he left the family
Yes.
to go to England to work.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people in Ireland had to do that because the employment opportunities in Ireland weren't the best at that time. But he went to England and he worked there and sent money
Bit of
home
money,
to
eh?
my mother. And
Yeah.
actually, my mother went out to work too when he was gone. And
Apparently, she went to a textile
a
factory.
textile factory. Yeah.
How did she balance 7 kids, work? How did she manage? Do you remember?
Well, she was an extraordinary woman.
She must have been.
She was quite an extraordinary woman, and she'd done that. And when my dad returned from England, we were all going to go to England at that time. We were all going to pack up, and we were all going to go to England.
To join him.
Yes. And then he got a job. We all luckily stayed in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there till
Going
I
back
left
to
to
your
go to
mom,
Canada.
how did she juggle? Can you recall
Well,
the strategy that she used?
well, my sisters helped out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
my sisters helped out, and we done the best we could.
And
with
you
it,
were
yeah.
resourceful,
Yes,
probably.
we were very resourceful.
No, you were, as you said, you were the oldest of 7.
Yes,
What kind of kid were you?
It was what I can recall. I look back at my life. I was a little bit wild. Yeah, I was a wild kid, but I enjoyed playing football, soccer.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing Gaelic football, and Gaelic football is Irish football.
Yeah.
Hurling.
Yeah.
And running. I done all the sports. Yeah.
When you say wild, what do you mean?
I mean, I was a little bit, I could be rambunctious, and I could be, but I'm okay.
On the conversation we had on the phone preparing for the interview. You said you actually loved life and people.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still do. Yeah, I
You
love
still
life.
do.
I love meeting people. I love meeting different people. And I enjoyed all the old folk back. I like the history of countries. I love listening to people. Now
Yeah.
I'm one of them like explaining history to people. But all the older people back home when I was growing up, I loved listening to them.
Yeah.
Especially my grandfather.
Grandfather, you told me you had great memories of visiting maternal grandparents
Yep.
and working on a fruit farm.
Yeah, on the fruit farm. Yeah, I worked there with him. And during the week, we would pull all the fruit off the trees. And on a Friday and a Saturday, we go to the markets and we'd sell it.
Oh, sell, yeah.
Yeah.
And you helped them.
Oh, of course I did.
Now, you were 14 when your father left for England, and
Yes,
we've
I was.
already talked about
Yeah.
that. How did that affect you, that absence?
Well, yeah, it affected me in a way. I never thought about it at the time. You don't think about those things. But later on in life, I thought about it and I was saying, hopefully I don't have to do that.
To leave the family.
But I would say, it affected me a little bit, but not that much. No, but we were busy with our
being
kids.
the oldest, though,
Yeah.
did you have to grow up faster?
A little bit faster.
Yeah,
And I had to
yeah.
go out to work a little
Yeah.
bit quicker too. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
miss your dad. At
Well,
14,
I missed him. Yeah. We used to go fishing and do different stuff together, and we had when he got a bit of time to himself, we done fishing and different stuff like that. Yeah.
So you went to school
Excuse me.
in your town, and then you attended high school.
Yeah, a technical school.
A technical school
yeah.
where you enrolled in a trades program, like a shop work.
Shop work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this some kind of natural progression for you?
It was a kind of it was natural. Yeah, I liked working with steel and anything to do with steel and stuff like that. I liked the hands-on part of it. Yeah, and I got into it doing a bit of soldering and different stuff like that. Yeah.
You started quite early. You were 15.
15 when I started, yeah.
When you had your first job as a laborer.
That's right.
15.
15 years old, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were through with school by then?
Yeah, I was through with it. I had enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at 15, I guess at that time, in a lot of countries, a lot of kids, especially boys, started quite early.
You did. You didn't think about it. You just went and done it, and it was for the family. You had to do it, and every Friday when you come home, you give your pay packet to your mom, and she give you whatever. She give you some money back, and that was yours. Your pocket
you helped
money.
the family. You helped yourself.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for helping the family.
Now in '74, you got married.
Yep.
And the young lady you got married to is named Ireland. How much more Irish did you want to be?
No, Marion is
Marion?
Yes, Marion is my wife. Yeah.
Oh, I wrote it down.
No.
Ireland. Forgive me.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's also Irish, right?
Oh, yeah, she's from Ireland. Yeah. It's Marion.
Yes. And then in '75, so this was what, a year later, right?
Yeah.
You came to Canada.
Yeah, we emigrated.
With a 6-month-old daughter, Louise.
That's correct. Yeah.
What motivated you to come to Canada?
Well, I figured there's more opportunities here. Maybe a little better life for my wife and daughter here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit of adventure along with it too.
Yeah. Did you know much about Canada?
I knew a little bit about it. I've seen Pierre Trudeau on television when back home in Ireland.
Oh.
I think it was during the Quebec. I think they had some disturbance in Quebec at one time, and I remember that on TV.
Yeah.
And
what was it about Canada that you kind of admired, so to speak?
I had ambitions. I always thought about Australia. I did think about Australia because it's warm there and different things like that. But Marianne, my wife, had an uncle that went to Australia and he never came back from Australia.
Oh.
And we figured, it's a little far away, and I think we'll give Canada a shot. You couldn't get into the States at that time. It was pretty hard to get in there, too.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did pick Canada.
Yeah. You mentioned Trudeau, because Trudeau was the one who introduced the concept of multiculturalism.
That's correct, yeah.
And this acceptance of the many cultures.
Yes.
Was that by any chance something that you were aware of?
At the time, I wasn't. No, I have to admit I wasn't. But as when I came here and I seen the melting pot, like all the different people and everything. It's a wonderful country for that. And,
and this still is, eh?
Oh, yeah, brilliant country.
Now, your first job in Canada was in construction.
Yeah.
How did you get it? Did you have anybody
I had a
here?
friend of mine who. A friend who I got to know when I came here. I didn't know him in Ireland, but I got to know him here in Canada, in Toronto. And he got me a job with a bricklaying company.
Oh.
Yeah, and from that bricklaying company, I was labourer on the bricklaying, and pretty tough work. I was well able for it. And there was a friend of mine who was a bricklayer there, Henry Trainer. And Henry went to work on his own then as a subcontractor, and I went to work with Henry, and I worked with Henry for about a year. But in the meantime, I had joined Local 183.
Back then?
Yeah.
No, you said it was tough. How much tougher was it than in Ireland, for example?
It just the cold. It was tough with
the
when I say tough with the cold weather and all that. Yeah,
you had to adapt.
That was pretty tough
for sure. Now, so in 75, I think, or 76, you came into contact with LaUna Local 183.
Yeah, I came into contact with LaUna in June 1975.
Okay, so that was just
after I came here.
Shortly after.
Yeah.
Now, today, Local 183 is huge. How was it then?
I would say close maybe to 3,000 members.
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe that, maybe 4.
Wow.
It wouldn't be any more than that. Yeah.
It was a baby.
Yeah, it was a little
then,
baby.
compared to today.
Starting to, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I guess then I can call you a union man.
You certainly can, yeah.
As I look at some of these pictures and at the information I
said
have.
only for 183 I wouldn't have a stitch to wear.
Now, I'm sure over the years you've seen a lot of changes with Local 183, but I'd like to start with your career, the various positions you've had before we talk about your accomplishments. You've gone from laborer to other things.
Yes.
Can you just give me a sense of the titles, if you like?
Okay. Well, when I came to Canada, I says I'm going to bet on myself if I can, like get a trade or get something, So I started working on 183. I remember I worked on the pipeline for a while.
Yeah.
And I seen some welders on there, and they were making good money on the pipeline. So I decided maybe I like this welding, so I'll get into welding. So I took a course in George Brown College, a night course first.
On welding?
On welding.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
And then that introduced me to another course that the government was offering, and that was a full-time course. And I took that it was for a year and a half. So, and that's how I progressed. Then when I left that, I got a job with Birmingham Construction at the time. And from that, I never looked back.
But as far as titles and new responsibilities with Local 183, you went from laborer to other positions. And
I was a carpenter for a while. And,
but as far as titles, because I know you have a title now as business representative. So before that, what did you do?
My first real would have been I was a shop steward for a long time.
Shop steward.
Yeah, I was a shop steward for on a lot of big projects in Toronto.
Yeah. And then from that, you went to business rep? Or?
I went business rep. Okay. I ran with Jack, and actually it's the same e-board as we have right now.
You're talking about Jack Oliveira.
Jack, my good friend Jack. Yeah.
Whose title is?
He's a business manager of Local 183. He's the business
manager, yeah. Now, in your biography, you say, over the years, I witnessed many injustices.
Yes, I have.
Deplorable site conditions and the general unwillingness to view the work of laborers as valuable and skilled. And then you go on to say that this motivated you to want to make a difference, to bring about change, not just for Local 183, but for all workers.
Construction workers on the whole.
This is a big goal. Yeah. Do you feel you've accomplished this?
I've helped to accomplish some of it.
I'd like you to brag about what you've done, if you like.
Yeah, we've changed. Yeah, through 183, down through the years, we've changed a lot.
Yeah,
the safety on the jobs has
specifically. Can you mention 2 or 3 moves that you helped make?
Well, it would have been back, I think it was around maybe 74 or 75. I can't remember which year it was. Yeah. But we brought in, the union brought in some courses on, the right to know, the right to refuse, and that helped a lot. Like we had the right to refuse unsafe work.
Yeah.
And it took a little while for people to get to know to do that, but in the end, people realize, you can stand up and be counted. And
so you brought about knowledge, education,
a lot of knowledge,
sensitivity to the issues. Yeah. Oh, that's a big step, eh? Yeah. That didn't exist before.
Well, it did, but not to the
same scale.
No way. No. And I think it's for the better. And our motto is: you go to work in the morning, you go home at night.
As you mentioned before, you were eventually offered and accepted a position as a business representative. This is for the members working in the heavy civil sectors of the industry.
That's correct.
What are the main responsibilities of a business rep?
Police the job.
Yeah.
Look after the membership. And make sure everybody goes home at night.
Now, I guess that you need to have a good team to do good work during the day and let everybody go home at night.
Yep.
A lot of people sharing your vision, eh?
A lot of them,
Yeah. You want to mention any names? Or?
Well, you have to have a strong leader. And that leadership is Jack Oliveira, a better guy you could never meet in your life. I'd like to be a leader of 183 right now, a business manager. You have Luis Camaro. You have Nelson Mello. You have Bernardino, Marcello, Jamie, and myself. That's the 7.
That's the team.
That's our executive board.
Yeah.
And we've been together since June 18 to 11.
Wow. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
You must get along, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, not all the time, but most of the time we do. Sure we do.
Now, Local 183 has had a few challenges, as we mentioned. But I remember in 2011, things were a bit rough internally. And can you, without going into a lot of detail, remind us as to what was happening then? Briefly. There was a bit of a shake-up, right?
There's a little bit of there was a shake-up there in 2011, we didn't like the direction that the union was going.
Yeah.
And Jack and the rest of us, we took a stand. And Jack put a team together, and the team I mentioned, that's it. And we went from there. We were elected, and now we went from 28,000 members back then to 60,000
I
today.
know.
So we done something right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this accomplishment? Because
I'm very, very proud. I'm very proud of the e-board, proud of the business reps, the 80 business reps that we have, all our staff that's in the union, our benefit people, our training staff. You couldn't ask for a better team than that.
Yeah.
You know, when we say team, you know, you have that team of 7 guys is out in front, but behind that 7 guys, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work without that lot of people.
That's right. That's right. Now, it hasn't been all work at Local 183. You have some fun days, family days.
Yes, we have our family day, yeah.
Interaction with the community through the union.
Yep.
And then you had 2016, which was a very significant year in Irish history, in the history of your life.
That's correct. Yes, it was, yes.
No, 2016, I understand, was important for Ireland because it marked the 100th anniversary of the Irish uprising.
That's correct. It's the rising in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, here in Toronto, you were chosen as Grand Marshal of St. Patrick's Day Parade in Toronto.
That's correct. Yeah.
We have a picture here.
That's
you
me.
look fairly happy.
Well, that was a very proud day for me. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Along with another Irishman, and we were very, very proud that day. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful day.
Why were you chosen?
The committee that run the St. Patrick's Day wanted to put some Labour people out there because there was a lot of Labour people involved in the rising in 1916.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah, James Connolly was instrumental in the rising in Ireland. He was a very, very strong union person in Ireland. Yeah.
And you have done some work in the community here, fundraising. No?
Yeah,
through the union?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we look after the pensioners, the Irish pensioners there. They have their own little community, and we look after them. We help them out, along with the Portuguese clubs and the Irish clubs and the radio stations and different
Because
stuff.
you're not chosen for this just because your name happens to be Patrick.
No. There's a little background in it, but yeah.
Are you humble about all this?
Yeah, well, I'm a humble person.
You're a humble person.
Yeah. I don't like being in the limelight.
But you were that day.
Yeah.
And what is interesting, and we're showing other pictures of the parade, is that you were there as a union man.
Yes, I was. Yeah. Well, we had our whole union staff, and we're there every year. Well, not just that year. We're there every year.
Everybody was fully dressed.
Yeah, every year we do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do, eh?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Every St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
We're there. It doesn't matter if I'm the Grand Marshal or not. We're there.
So this was a grand day for you.
Yes, it was a great day for me.
Now, in the speech that you gave on that very same occasion in 2016, and in reference to St. Patrick, you state, and I like to quote you, because it's an interesting passage. We all know the story of St. Patrick, who was granted 3 wishes by an angel of the Lord to bring happiness and hope to the people of Ireland. And you went on to say, for me, the story which always resonated with me the most is how St. Patrick was captured by pirates, survived, and escaped from childhood slavery, was ordained a bishop, and ultimately became the patron saint of Ireland. Why did you choose this as your preferred story? I'm curious.
I think it shows his resilience, that he was able to do that. And I think by him doing that and going back to Ireland, he created something there, a resilience in the Irish people that they have to this day. And if you look at the world and you look at you had the Great Famine in Ireland where a lot of people died.
Yeah.
2 million died, 2 million emigrated. A lot of people don't know this. The population of Ireland in 1844, 45 was 8 million people.
Wow.
If you go back today, it's 4.5 million.
I know.
And
Yeah.
2 million emigrated,
Yes.
not just to the United States and Canada, all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about this resilience. Do you identify somehow with this?
To a point, yeah. I'm a determined person. You won't put me down. I'll come back. I'll come back at you.
Resilient?
Yep. I'll fight my corner, and I'll fight the corner of other people if they're not able to fight it.
Wow.
Yep.
Very interesting. And you'll probably do that for your family as well, because you told me before that family is really, really important.
Very important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. My time with my wife, 2 kids and 4 grandchildren is very important to me.
Oh, you're a blessed man. 4 grandchildren, eh?
Yep. Yeah, I got 4 of them. Yeah.
Now, your wife, Marion.
Yeah.
North Ireland.
Yeah.
41 years, eh? 40-some-odd years.
46 years now.
46?
Yeah. I think 1974 to,
Yeah, you've had a good ride, huh?
Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, we'd done a lot of traveling. We'd done a lot of traveling. We'd done a lot of hard work here. There was hard times here.
Yeah.
We worked together and we got through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like a good team at work, but also a good partner.
Got to have a good team at home
within
too.
family life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to give you my condolences because I know your mom.
Yeah.
You lost her to COVID-19.
Yes, last Christmas.
At the age of 97, eh?
97 years old. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she in a home or?
No, she was living in her own house.
Really?
In our home house. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she got sick and she went to the hospital.
But
the worst part for me was I couldn't get home to her funeral.
To see her?
No.
Oh.
I know. No.
This was
I never got to say goodbye.
This was at a time when you couldn't do that.
No, I never got to say goodbye.
But at least you have good memories, I'm sure.
Yes, I have a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
I have some great memories. Yeah. She was a wonderful woman. Yeah.
Yeah. We do grow attached to our parents, don't we?
Yeah, my dad passed away 9 years ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he was here as well?
No, he was in Canada. Oh, no, he was in Ireland.
Ireland.
My mother was in Ireland too.
She was.
Yeah.
But if you could have seen her, could have attended the funeral, you would have gone, obviously.
Well, COVID was raging at that time. We couldn't, nobody could go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I will get to say goodbye to her one day.
Yeah. Well, you have to say goodbye in
with
your heart.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned doing a bit of traveling with your family. I noticed you've gone to Peru, Italy, Portugal.
Yep. Yeah. Been in Portugal. I've been in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you gone to Portugal with Jack Oliveira? Because he's from there.
Yeah, I went with Jack.
You have?
Yep. Enjoyed it. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. But you also like to horseback ride?
Well, that picture there is my brother-in-law's farm. Yeah.
Do you have a horse?
Yeah, he has a lot of horses. Yeah.
Do you have a horse?
No, I don't have a horse.
No.
But
you have a dog.
I have Milo, my dog. Yeah.
We didn't have space to put him
here, but
it's okay. We'll show him throughout the interview.
Yeah.
Very good. Now let's talk a little bit about your present activities. You've been working since '75.
Yep.
Any plans to retire?
Well, my wife would love me to retire, but I don't know. Yes, I don't know. I haven't.
Oh, you have no plans?
Not today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep postponing, or?
I in my own mind, I postpone. Yeah. Because
you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I like getting up in the morning and going to work. And
Yeah.
you know, if you work with a bunch of guys like I work with, you like, you know, like people, yeah.
I'm
If
quite
you like
sure.
the people you're working with, you have no problem. Yeah.
When and if you retire, what do you think you'll do?
Travel.
Ah,
Travel.
maybe go back to Portugal.
Oh, I'm going back to Portugal.
Are you?
I'm going back in May to Portugal. Yeah, I'm going
Wonderful.
I'm going for 12 days. Yeah, going to do a
Okay.
tour of Portugal.
So
yeah.
traveling would be your
Portugal,
thing to
yeah.
do. Now, looking back over your professional life here in Canada, but even before when you were in Ireland,
Yep.
what do you think was your biggest accomplishment in terms of your professional career?
I think there would be a few.
Okay.
Meeting my wife and getting married would be number one.
Oh, this will be music to our ears.
Yeah. Of course, my kids.
But in terms of your your family.
Yeah, my family.
Yeah. Okay. But in terms of your professional life?
My professional life, it would be, I think the biggest change in my professional life was going back to school and taking that course in George Brown College in Toronto and then utilizing that. But I think becoming a shop steward at the start, working my way up and meeting Jack and the team, meeting Jack Oliveira by just pure chance on a job one day.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, and there is, you know, and I forgot to mention too, I worked in my job. I work with, I have a team of guys that I work with in the heavy civil part of construction. I have Joe Gomez, who I worked with for the last 12 or 13 years.
Yeah.
And Evaristo Candido.
So local 183 stuff.
And 183 stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It's been great talking to you.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for sharing your hardworking and inspiring life.
Yeah.
It's been a real pleasure.
I would just like to mention one thing, and it's a sad day today, and it's my wife's sister who died in Ireland, and I'd just like to say, may she rest in peace. She was 61 years old.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
I thank you.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure talking to you. And it was a pleasure being with our audience. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.